Sarap ng pawis pag ganito, oh. Oh, tumutulo talaga siya, oh. Sarap magpapawis. Ayan, masakit sa mata. Diba? Tumutulo-tulo pa yan. Kaya tayo nagpagkapit ng buhok kasi yan nga, ganito. Pagka hindi mag-igsi yung buhok mo, naku, malagkit na. For dinner, hindi, for ano to, brunch na, brunch. Nilagang pata daw to, pero hindi man, laman. Laman naman yan. Kakain ako ng rice, walang breakfast, wala akong dinner. Let's eat.
That was something that was odd to me, but it certainly didn't point any fingers at him. There was no blood and nothing in his hands or on him or on his clothes that would indicate that he had been part of the murder.
While Peter is taken to headquarters to make a statement, Ryan is looked after by his grandparents. At the crime scene, investigators continue to look for any clues to who has killed Evelyn Visage.
In these early stages, you don't really know the victim, and so now you have to start thinking, who would do that, and what was the reason for this brutality that was leveled against this victim?
Ako kakain kaya
Born to a single
sabaw
mother
ito,
in Lares, Puerto
halo-halo.
Rico in 1966, Evelyn grew up determined to escape her humble childhood.
She came to this country from Puerto Rico when she was 19 to live the American dream.
Evelyn landed a job at a large home improvement store in Paramus, New Jersey, where she made an immediate impression.
Evelyn was a great employee. She had such a good work ethic. Everybody loved her.
She was vibrant, positive. You could hear Evelyn from a mile away. She was always happy. She loved her music. She was passionate about dancing. She was a proud Latina.
She was beautiful inside and out. Such a giving person. She was very kind.
Evelyn started dating Peter after they met at the store.
Peter used to shop there with his father. He was very quiet, very polite, family-oriented. He seemed like a good guy. Someone that she could see building a family with. That was her dream.
Peter and Evelyn married and soon welcomed their son Ryan into the family.
Ryan was her world. Everyone knew she had a son, and everyone knew how much she loved her son.
After 4 years of marriage, the couple's relationship deteriorated and Evelyn filed for divorce.
Things started to go wrong. They were just very disconnected. But she wanted Peter to be a part of Ryan's life while they figured out their divorce and custody agreement.
But Evelyn was killed before the divorce was finalized, raising police suspicions due to the nature of her murder.
The ferocity, the level of violence, you would think somebody really had an axe to grind, someone that's personally involved with the victim.
You looked at the nature of the crime, it suggested that it was somebody doing this for a reason. You have a couple who are going through a divorce. In these types of cases, you're going to look at the husband.
Coming up, police discover additional suspects.
We learned that he had been with Evelyn the night of the murder.
Maybe they were having a domestic argument, a dispute.
And unearth hidden evidence.
Evelyn had secretly audio taped some of the arguments and fights that they had been having.
But just as the investigation falters,
Maybe he wasn't the one who actually did the murder because it just doesn't make sense.
Was there a piece of the puzzle that we weren't seeing?
a new face blows the case wide open.
He's perspiring heavily. I could see the vein in his neck beating. And I said to him, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I already know what happened, and I'm going to prove it.
Police investigating the murder of mother of one, Evelyn Visage, have their first suspect, her estranged husband, Peter Visage.
You have to start thinking, did the husband do this? Or is he involved in it somehow?
Peter mentioned that his relationship with Evelyn was troubling to him because they were in a different place. He wanted her to stay home. She wanted to work. And the relationship deteriorated, and Evelyn had filed for divorce.
Evelyn and Peter still lived in the same home, even though this divorce was proceeding. They slept in separate bedrooms, but they were living under the same roof.
Peter claims he last saw Evelyn alive the morning she was killed.
He had taken his son for the day. Evelyn had gone to work.
Peter told us he went to his mother's house at 8:30 that morning with Ryan to do some household repairs. He didn't have a steady job. His parents supported him. He also did a lot of odd jobs for them that they paid him for. He stayed at his mother's house until approximately 8:30, and at that time he went with his son Ryan to the Palisades Mall.
Peter tells police that just after 9 p.m., he called Evelyn's cell, and she told him she was at a friend's house.
She told Peter that she was on her way home and would probably be home within 20 minutes or so. At approximately 10 p.m., Peter received a telephone call from Evelyn asking where he was. Peter said to Evelyn that he was picking up milk and that he would be home shortly. Peter said that upon arriving home, his intent was to put Ryan to bed, but he said that he found it odd that the lights were not working in the hallway. He said he looked into the bedroom, he saw that Evelyn was on the floor, and he said that she was obviously deceased, according to him, and he ran back downstairs and ran to the neighbor's house to call the police.
Peter Visage was questioned for over 16 hours. I mean, it was a very long interview. He never asked to leave. He never said, I want a lawyer, leave me alone, anything like that. He was cooperative throughout.
He agreed to provide us with fingernail clippings, hair samples, blood sample, buccal swab for his DNA.
As Peter is providing samples, investigators run a background check.
There's nothing in his history indicative of this violence. Peter was typically a guy who was, if he wasn't home, working on cars, motorcycles, he was at his parents' house. Peter Visage's mother confirmed his alibi for the day and evening at the time that he said that he was there. We found Peter to be at the A&P supermarket, buying milk and exiting the store consistent with the times he described, confirmed by video cameras. And he produced a receipt for the milk, time and date stamped 10:15 p.m. The amount of time it took to go from A&P, where he purchased the milk, to his house, it just would not have been possible to commit that crime and call the police from the neighbor's phone and not be contaminated in some sort. We'll leave behind some evidence or have evidence on him. We found no sign of any injuries. We found no sign of any blood on his person, on his shoes.
Creamy tofu at saka hash brown. Squid balls. Try nyo to, ang sarap, promise. Naisip ko, wala pala akong masyadong vlog ngayong araw na to. Kasi ginawa ko lang naman, naglinis, syempre, nainuman kagabi, kahapon. Tama, kahapon din, kagabi, kahapon. And then, naglaba, and then, naglinis, and then, natulog. Alam niyo na. Merong over. First time ulit namin naman ako ng ganun. Off ko. Pantanggal stress. Ito pagkain ko ngayon. Squid balls. Tapos, hash brown at creamy tofu. Yung creamy tofu nakita nyo kahapon, no? May klaso pulutan. Pero hindi ko siya tinapon. Kasi masarap siya hash brown. Pang partner. Saktong-sakto yung niya, yung cream. Or yung sauce niya. Tapos maanghang. Sarap. Ito na yung dinner ko. Ano yung umaga, lang dyan. Nilagang baboy. Dinuguan. Tapos nagkanin ako. Hindi pala umaga yung lunch na yun. Pagtapos nito, magsasampay ako kasi naglaba ako. Ano ko lang natapos yung labahin ko. Nakababad sa downy. Ngayon, sasampay ko yun. And then, maglilinis tayo ng kuko ulit. Ano? Kasi nabakbak na siya. Tapos, yun lang naman gagawin ko. Sarap talaga na ito. So, yun nga, tinatry natin hindi magkakanin. Almost kahit. Kaya lang yun na nag-cheat tayo ha. Hindi strict talaga na ano. Tulad nung kayong tanghali, nagkanin nga ako. Kasi wala akong kain kagabi. Kasi kanina umaga. Ay baka mag-ano na naman yung chan ko. Kasi nga uminom tayo kahapon na. Ano nagkanin ako kanina? Kasi usually nagkanin ako kapag tanghali. Kasi at least mababurn natin yun. Burnin. Yun lang, tapos yung lang to. Babay na